Hello friends, I am Jayant Kumar Arora, PGT Economics, Delhi Public School, Saibabad. Today we are going to discuss on the topic that market equilibrium. For market equilibrium, first of all, we should understand what determines the market price. Classical economics, cost of production determines market price. According to classical economics, that cost of production determines the market price. And also, they thought that utilitarian thought that demand determined the market price. They say when demand reduces, market price reduces, etc. But after that, when we go, Marshall, they point out that both demand and supply are needed to determine the market price. Demand and supply are like two blades of a pear. Demand and supply are the two blades of the pear that, like a scissor, both are needed to cut the material. Only this thing, if they both are sharp, they can cut. So now what is market? Market where buyers are and sellers are willing to meet at a point. It is a situation. It should not be a physical point. Maybe a situation. So what happens here? The exchange of goods and services. So could be local, the market could be national, market could be international market. That refers to perfect competition or the free market without any government controls. So both buyers and sellers are agreed to the market price. That means at equilibrium, the quantity demanded should be equal to quantity supplied. So this market is clear. At the given price, there is no surplus of supply. At the given price, there is no surplus of the supply and also unsatisfied demand or shortages. Where? At the market equilibrium point. So, market equilibrium. That means supply and demand are the opposing forces. And when price increases, demand decreases, as we know about the law of demand and also law of supply. But when supply increases, what happens? The price increases two times. Either demand should decrease or either supply should increase. So we see here that when price decreases, the demand increases. And when the price decreases, the supply decreases. There is a difference we should understand. When price increase, the demand decrease. But when price increase, the supply will also increase. And the second point, when price decrease, the demand increase. And when price decrease, the supply also decrease. We should understand these 2 points. So where I go, but these could be at one price where demand is equal to supply. If demand and supply are equal, that means price is equal. So this is the point of the market equilibrium, and with equilibrium P and equilibrium Q. So we count market equilibrium. In this chart we can understood at price P, demand 10, supply 2, but when we go to the price 3 rupees per unit, demand and supply is looking at equal, and again when price goes high, demand decreases and supply increases. So equilibrium stage is that where demand and supply are equal, that price is called as the market equilibrium price. So again, demand and supply equation we understood. Suppose the quantity demanded is 14 minus 2p and quantity supply is 4 rupees plus 2p. So what will be the equilibrium at P and Q? We have to equate these equations and we have to find the answer like we do in the algebra in our earlier classes. Now equilibrium will shift in demand curve. We should understand. Only demand will shift, here supply will be constant. So I go for this situation from this graph. We are looking at the supply is constant, but due to some factors, this demand increases. we know that other than price, other related factors like income of the consumer or taste and preference of the consumer may lead to increase the demand. Then this curve shift from D1, D1 to D2, D2. When it is on D1, D1 curve, we say this is the equilibrium point. Now the equilibrium point is this. That means if we want to maintain the equilibrium, we have to increase the price. So when demand increases, price definitely increases to find a new equilibrium. And the second situation we can see that this is the supply curve, this is the demand curve meeting at only one point. That point is equilibrium point. Here whatever the price is that, we will say it will be the equilibrium price. Now if I go on upward side, I see here supply is more, demand is less, because price is going above the equilibrium price. And here as the price we see on the curve, the demand is high, supply is less, because the price is now reduced from the equilibrium price. So here the surplus demand, here the surplus supply. Now shifts in the supply curve means demand curve is fixed, but supply curve is shifting due to some factors. Suppose good technology is coming very good form, then supply is increasing, it is shifting to rightwards. We see first of all the equilibrium point at E, that price equilibrium was P dash, but due to that factor supply shifted from S curve to S1 curve. The new equilibrium price is now P1 because supply is increased. So to make equilibrium, price will reduce. Supply increase, the price will reduce. Then and then the equilibrium point will be come. And now the second form, stability in the equilibrium in the market. First, stable equilibrium. When any disturbance to the equilibrium generates forces that bring system back to original position. Means for any reason, if the price goes down to the original equilibrium, there may be forces that will bring up this price again to the equilibrium. What happens? In certain situation, the price and the quantity do not return to the original position. And this is called unstable equilibrium. So this occurs when demand or supply curves do not have their any characteristic shapes. So we say that at this point the price P and quantity Q will move progressively and away from the original position. Now stable market position, the curve stays as. Here we see that demand and supply both meets at E. Suppose for any reason the supply we see at this S point, certainly supply is surplus here, and we see that equilibrium will be disturbed if demand goes to this point, and then again equilibrium will happen. So we can understand that if this equilibrium point is disturbed, it will automatically create situations in the market so that it comes to the stability. Now here, when unstable equilibrium, the demand is greater than supply. Stable equilibrium when demand is equal to supply. Unstable means demand is first condition when demand is greater than the supply. So we see here when demand here, this point both are equal. Now we can see at this point demand is greater than the supply, and certainly what happens, the price goes high and equilibrium comes, then further price goes high, supply goes high and demand comes down, and they will again go towards the equilibrium. This is unstable equilibrium. So again, they are saying here that for the demand curve, if it goes high, or for the demand curve when it goes low, that means demand is less than supply, price decreases. This condition, if demand is less than supply, price decreases or unstable. And I'll again show the last graph. Here, when demand is less than supply, then the price decreases. And when demand is greater than the supply, price increases. These both conditions we have to remember here. So, uniqueness of the equilibrium. There will be one market price and equilibrium. Empirical analysis shows the smooth curve, it goes demand, supply, then existence of equilibrium. Now, does equilibrium exist at all? It can exist if demand and supply both cut each other in the positive quadrant only. We all know there are 4 quadrants. Only in the positive quadrant it can exist, the equilibrium. Only in the positive quadrant it can exist. If demand and supply curve cut each other in the positive quadrant only, this occurs correct theoretically. But demand and supply curves drawn from collected data may not cut each other at all. Sometimes it happens they do not cut each other, demand and supply, so that will not be a viable industry. Like this, they are not cutting into the first quadrant, they are cutting into the next quadrant. So here we say the industry is non-viable, non-existent. So here also, if it is cutting in the next level, existing, that means no viable industries are there. So what are other determined prices? First, the cost, I have already explained. Then the demand, that influences the price. Then our lifestyle influences the price of the goods and services. Then sales and channels certainly increases or decreases, influences the price. Government policies certainly influences the price. Competition influences the price. In the whole real scenario, we can understand it. It is very much common examples for all these lifestyle. We are purchasing modern goods, the price will go increase. So this way, there are some little questions on this chapter also that we should understand. Define market equilibrium and depict it with the help of a diagram, what we have understood here. Second, estimate the market P and Q, P price, Q quantity. From the following, we are having 2 equations. When we equate each other, market equilibrium will occur, and then we can solve it like an algebra. So, third question, is equilibrium always unique? Show this with the help of a diagram. That stable equilibrium, unstable equilibrium. So, some essay questions like what are the characteristics of a market equilibrium? Draw diagrams to illustrate your answer. Explain with the help of diagrams the equilibrium, price and Q when demand curve shifts from the right and the supply constant. The first case. B. When supply curve shifts to the left, the demand is constant. What is the unstable equilibrium? Under what conditions does it exist? That illustrate. I explained you when demand is greater than supply or when demand is less than supply, 2 conditions. So when is it not possible to achieve market equilibrium? Draw diagrams to illustrate your answer. I hope students you have understood this topic, market equilibrium, and you will do your best. Thank you.